Morning. So, today I was going to talk about what vacuums does in weight loss specifically, and that is why I actually have this as part of the clean out programs. Okay, because that's why these clean out programs really work so well, and that's why I've kind of worked a couple of years on them. Because as busy people and as we need to move and get things done, when we do a clean out, it is hard. Okay, so obviously it's not as hard as when you go on a fasting clean out. As you guys know by now, I'm very against fasting clean outs. It's just not logical, doesn't make any sense, and every piece of science actually goes against it. So I still cannot believe that people actually do it. Before we start, now remember, there's something I forgot to tell you guys about last week, because we spoke about the actual programs that I set it up, and I gave you guys the free version of how you can actually just get on it and do it yourself. What to take into account, what not to take into account. Now remember guys, you can ask me if you're not sure about something. Just write a comment or ask me. I have some appointments that I've put up. I'm still a little bit kind of new-ish to all of this Facebook stuff, but learning. So I have appointments if you guys want to hook up with me on a meeting. Then we just have a chat. You ask me some questions, or just ask it on Triple E on my Facebook page or Instagram if you want. It's Triple E Health. And shoot me a question there or on my email. It is easier when you guys ask me questions on my social media. So the one thing I forgot that I'd actually like to add in, and this is, I would say, one of the most essential parts, is to have a celery juice every morning before you take any other liquids or anything in. Let me start by saying celery is amazingly potent, right? It's a diuretic, it cleans out your body, but it also influences the enzymes in your stomach. Now these are not things that I've tested, obviously. I'm not a nutritionist, but I love checking into this stuff. I'm a health freak. So being a health freak, obviously, I look into these things. So celery juice, what it does, it causes your stomach acid to work better. It causes your stomach acid to break down what it takes in. So you're preparing your stomach acid to do a better job. So the secret is to juice one bunch of celery, or what I do, because it's not the most tasting thing that you can take first thing in the morning. People joined. Hi, welcome. Yay, I'm so happy you guys are here. So what I do personally is I would take like 4 big stalks of celery and I would juice it with the best water I can find. Just in a mixer, blend it really well, and then I put it through a sieve, because it has quite a lot of fiber in it, and there's a lot of people that can't handle fiber. I'm one of them, so I have to be careful with fiber. And then you just drink that. That's it. Do not add apples. There's a lot of people that's going to go, oh, I can make it tastier, I can add this and that and the other. Don't do that. Don't do that to your whole program. Don't do that, because as soon as you put any kind of sugar with it, it's done for. It's just not doing the job it should do. And then wait half an hour before you have that first coffee in the morning, for instance, because then your body prepared. Do that for 21 days. Guaranteed you're going to see a difference. Why celery? Why did I look into this? Because I currently have a family member, out of respect for her privacy, I'm not going to mention the name, is going through cancer. And obviously, I'm digging into any kind of information that I can find to help out. And this is the one thing that kept popping up. It kept popping up. I was speaking with people that overcame. The other day, I was speaking to a lady. Her husband overcame stage 4 cancer. And this is one of the essential things that he did. He actually downed a whole bunch of celery. He juiced it in a juicer every morning, a pint of that. That was, I mean, today he can't even look at a celery store, but he's perfect. He's fine. So yeah, celery, huge, big thing to add to your clean out in the mornings. And actually, I've actually decided to keep going. Like, take less, but keep going. Why should we stop? The clean out, our bodies does it every single day. See, that's what all these programs are about. Our bodies actually naturally does clean out. So isn't it more logical to help it out and give it stuff so that it can do its job a lot better? And that way, eventually, we don't have to go through every seasonal harsh clean out, and they become a lot easier. Okay, that's the one thing I forgot to put up. Eventually, I'm going to write the story out for you guys so you can actually have the essentials and just, take it off in a PDF. Maybe I think that would be easiest, or maybe I'll put a Canva picture up so you guys can actually just take it off my social media and just go and do it. Leave some comments if you have any questions. That would be actually wonderful. The other thing I spoke about last week was vitamins, to have a multivitamin and to have a good one. Now, in this lockdown, I couldn't get to my vitamins. So I have a specific brand that I like. I've tested so many. I mean, seriously, I've tested... I've brought stuff in from overseas. I bought the most expensive. Now I have a brand and I have quality. What you actually get out of it is insane. It's really good. So I couldn't get to my brand because in lockdown we weren't allowed to drive, and my storage is in a complete village on the other side of the island. So I went and I got just any other kind of multivitamin, just to have the B complex and to have the magnesium, to have the essentials, because I am still on the detox, the clean out. It's not a detox, well, it is. Anyway, so people understand it better as a clean out, that's why I call it a clean out. So I took these other vitamins, and man, I must say, this was by far the hardest clean out that I've done in my entire life, because even though they were eco and bio, they were just not. They were just get yourself good vitamins. Look what happened. That's what happens when your body doesn't get what it needs. Your immune system gets breaking down and then it can't do its job. Another reason why we actually need to feed our bodies essentials and the best of the best to have a good clean out and have our bodies work better afterwards. And you'll see it. You do a clean out, even if you just do the free version that I spoke about last week, you will see a difference. You'll see a difference the more you actually do it, the easier it gets, the more clued up you get. I have the free version because I really want people to benefit. I really want people to start incorporating it into their lives and reap the benefits of feeling great. I have a friend that has an enlarged heart, and I feel so bad because I really want to help him have a better life. The only reason why he has bad health is because of the habits, unfortunately. And I know it's hard. I've been there. I've been through very rough times, very, very rough times that you just give up, kind of. but you need to step up if you want to have energy and enjoy life and do stuff and enjoy your family. And you got to step up your game. You got to look after yourself. You got to look after your health. That is the most important thing that we can ever have. That and time. I think those are the best gifts ever in life. Okay, so the other thing, actually, well, these are extras that I'm just talking about, but yeah, last week also the other thing, I'm very sorry if I ran out of time. I was talking too much actually, because every day at 10:30 I teach online vacuum sessions, like core combos and vacuums and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of have to set everything up, and so I have a limited time in the morning. If you guys want a different time, we can always talk about it, because I know Ems, she never connects because she's in the States. So I might actually change the live times for next month. I'll keep it this way for this month, but if it's better for you guys at a different time, then yeah, I can change it. It's not a problem. Hey, Manuel, bienvenido, welcome. So, okay, so let's talk about vacuums. What does vacuums actually do? Okay, now first let's have a look at where is the vacuum. Okay, so we have our stomachs here, right? So the rib cage is like ticky 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 over there, right? The diaphragm literally lies on top of your stomach like that. And then every time we do a vacuum, it literally sucks the stomach up. It's all connected in there. All right? And that's the other thing with okay, we'll talk about the lymphatic system as well. But it does the same thing. So you have the stomach literally in the front, right underneath the diaphragm. But in the back, like where a woman's bra strap is, basically, that's where a little like heart shape, it looks like a little heart, gland. Hey, Shaman, welcome. Thank you for joining. So in the back, basically, more or less, is that little lymphatic gland. But it doesn't do a job like a heart. That's why a lot of people, me included, if I don't do my vacuums, I suffer from lymphatic drainage. It's really bad. Okay, and that also can cause bad immune system. It can cause that you feel tired because the toxins are not being secreted, it's not being washed out. That's what the lymph does. It actually helps your body clean it out. So there's different ways that we need to look at that, but let's come back to the vacuums. Now, what that vacuum does, it is so powerful that where it connects at the back, it connects right where the lymphatic gland is, okay? So every time you do a vacuum, it's pumping literally the lymphatic gland. Yikes. Now, I must say and add at this point that the only time ever after I was a teenager, I would say, that I was without cellulite, lymphatic gland, was when I was training to become a certified vacuums instructor. Big thing, huge thing. Your body completely changes, right? So when you do the vacuum, you suck your stomach up. Now, I remember when I got certified, the one day we were actually doing vacuums, and I mean, it's full on. It's like the whole day, like if it's not information, it's just, you do the practice, you know, you vacuum. And I wasn't hungry. None of us were hungry because we were doing so many vacuums. We were not even at that level yet. But just from doing so many vacuums, we were on such an energy high, because that's the other thing it does. Now, when you work that lymphatic gland so much and you get so much oxygen in, because that's the whole time we are breathing really deep, you get that oxygen clean out. That's another thing that you get. But also the stomach, that sucking makes it smaller. And it's literally, naturally, the power of your own body is actually making your stomach smaller, and it's helping it to get back to its original size of what it should be. Okay, now have to be careful if you're a person that's naturally skinny. I have clients that they are I mean, super skinny. Naturally, their metabolism is so fast. I would have them afterwards down huge pints of protein and carbs so that their body can recuperate. Okay, that's a different story. That goes more to the personal training kind of thing that I do. But vacuums, huge thing, huge thing. If you just do a couple of these things, then that's included into the freebie clean out. You do vacuums, and they will help your body to naturally have it easier to lose weight, because how many times have you gone on a diet, or how many times have you done a clean out and you get hungry, especially around the end? I'm in week 3 of the detox now, of the clean out. I'm not doing the full on, I'm doing the busy person's one, so it's not, I'm just doing it as a clean out. I'm not doing it to lose weight, but I have lost weight. So what actually happens is you start getting hungrier because you're actually feeding your body the way it should be. Your metabolism is speeding up. It's a good sign. But on the other side, if we get too hungry, what happens? We binge eat, or we grab anything. We're like, it's okay, I'll do it better next time. No, not a good thing. Do vacuums. If you get hungry, you do a couple of vacuums, just 10 minutes. What's 10 minutes? It's nothing out of a day. You wake up, you get oxygen in, and you feel better, and you get some vacuums in, you get a big stretch in your body as well. Some of the postures I actually teach really stretches out your body. So it actually helps also with the nerves. It helps with movements. Anyway, that's a complete different number. I'm getting back to the vacuums. Let's get back to the actually clean out program. Okay, so I'm going to teach you guys a couple of ways that you can actually do vacuums relatively easy. Now, if you've never actually done a vacuum, it might be a little bit hard. Okay, so I'm just going to move the camera over so you can see it a little bit easier. Okay. Now, welcome to my studio. Okay, so okay, you can see me now, right? Yes. Okay, so if you've never done a vacuum ever before in your life, I would say try it without pinching your nose, and then, because it's just better. Your body naturally knows actually how to do a vacuum. Kids do it. They naturally just do it all the time. You did it as a kid as well. Babies do it. Okay, so it's a natural occurrence in the body. Because we don't keep practicing it, we forget how to do it. But we can do it. When you're underwater, for instance, you're very able to close your nose and your mouth at the same time, right? Well, that's what you do just before you do a vacuum. Now, with a vacuum, you cannot hold any air in. So the big secret into doing a vacuum, or the best results I find in doing vacuums, is to breathe very deeply, but with breathing deeply into your chest, so into your rib cage, down here into your chest. Just a couple of breaths, because the vacuum, especially in the beginning, since it's lying right here, it's not warmed up yet. So doing a couple of breaths, just for about 5 to 8 minutes, it can warm up the diaphragm. So I would say that's essential to do. But if you're accustomed to it, and if you're used to doing vacuums already, then just go for it. In the mornings, I do just about 3 breaths, deep breaths, where I just expand a little bit, and then I start with very light vacuum. So if you want to do a vacuum, you're not sure how to do it, you don't know what the sensation is, you don't know if you're doing it right, okay, then pinch your nose. So breathe in, nice and deep, expand in your thorax, breathe out, and then pinch your nose and do a vacuum. And then let go of your nose to know that you can actually do it naturally. And that's how you kind of ease into doing the vacuum. So you can start by pinching your nose. I never did. From the beginning, I was like, I don't want to do that step to confuse myself, I would just learn to do the vacuums. Now, if you do vacuums, one of the good ways of actually doing vacuums is actually if you stand, like in yoga, we do what you call naulis. Nauli is where you actually, well, you run the ab muscles while you're doing a vacuum. That's a different kind of story. You can try them. Eventually I'll be adding some tutorials on naulis on my YouTube channel as well. But for now, we just focus on vacuums, and I just want people to get the benefits of actually doing the vacuum, okay? So one of the good postures that you can stand in is you can actually rest on your legs, and by leaning forward and having a straight back, it's a lot easier to get that vacuum. It kind of feels like it falls into your ribcage, okay? So breathe in and out, and then go for a vacuum. And at this point, you can actually, you probably won't be able to hold it for that long, which is a good sign, but at least you're starting. So the longer you can actually hold the vacuums, the better you're getting at it. So practicing, I would say not less than 10-15 minutes to actually have an effect, to feel an effect. You can either do 10 minutes every day, but if you're actually doing a full-on session like I do, 45 minutes, like later on I'm going to teach a session, sometimes it's 45 minutes, sometimes it's an hour, do that, rest one day, at least. Now if you're a beginner, rest 2 days. So there's a lot of stuff that's been taken into account. Vacuums are extremely powerful. Do not be mistaken by the power they have, because it's actually scientifically proven and tested that a vacuum has more power than an abdominal exercise, a conventional ab crunch, for instance. Besides that, the ab crunch actually places pressure on certain parts of your body that we don't want, that can be eventually negative to your body. So doing an actual vacuum is lowering the pressure in your body, plus it's activating the inner core. There's a whole scientific proven philosophy around why vacuums are so good. I just want to make very sure that you guys actually realize that you can use this as part of your clean out. Now the other essential thing, vacuums, not only with the lymphatic system or the stomach that it helps, but it massages literally your organs. Now when do you actually dig in there and go, come on organ, you gotta go and squeeze it out, come on, you gotta get rid of your toxins, now you go to this organ? We don't do that. Our muscles get a massage, we go to the physio, we go for treatments, so we do exercise, but not the intestines or any other organ. When do we actually do that? Well, when we do vacuums, we are actually literally, or naulis, like in yoga, we actually are massaging the organs and the intestines. Now, I have a lot of people that they suffer, they can't go to the bathroom. I'm going to try and be gentle talking here. Sometimes I'm a little bit straightforward with things, but they have a problem and it's hard, and that's a big reason why a lot of people have coffee and smoke in the first thing in the morning, is so that they can go to the bathroom, get their relief, carry on with their day. Right, so all of these people actually, when they come to my classes, they say no more cigarette and coffee, because the bowel movement that's actually happening from the vacuums is almost immediate. So the more you actually practice it, the more you're massaging your bowel. So it's quite a powerful exercise. I'm going to show you guys one from the side so you can actually see what's happening to the abdomen and why it's massaging. Now when you do an nauli, it's a lot more, because you're actually moving the muscles and the stomach at the whole abdominal area. Okay, so I'm going to do one from the side so you guys can actually see it. and I'm going to go for it. So breathe in. If you want to do it with me, go for it. Okay, so what happens is you do that vacuum and it literally sucks everything up. So it's literally, the vacuum's, the diaphragm is here and it pulls up. So it pulls the stomach up, pulls the organs up, it pulls the intestines up, pulls everything up. And in that way, you actually get a good little massage going down there. The bowel gets to move, it gets to its help to move. A lot of people has a lot of slow digestion. So this also helps speeding up the digestion a little bit. If you do have normal digestion, it's not going to make any change because you're just massaging. Also organs, they need to twist and turn. Okay, so there's a lot of postures that can actually help with that. One of the other ones is where you can actually go forward. When you're actually going forward, what you're doing is you're not only getting a nice good stretch in your hamstrings, but those organs, the placement of your spine of going forward is stretching out those organs just a little bit more. And also, as soon as you bend your head forward, right, so I'm not pinching my chest, I'm just trying to stretch the crown of my head forward to the floor. What happens is the lymphatic valve gets stretched just a little bit more because the diaphragm, and when you get to an advanced level, you'll feel that, how the diaphragm actually stretches. So these are some tips that you guys can follow with the clean out. If you ever decide to do a clean out, watch last week's live video. It is there on Triple E. And then also the one that I'm doing now. If you have any questions or doubts, just put them up on my page. If you want links to my YouTube to start getting into vacuums a little bit more and learn about certain postures and the benefits that they have, just tell me and I can send you those links, or I can add them in one of the comments. And if you guys need any advice or you want specific information or anything, let me know and I can either put up a tutorial or we can talk about it. So this month I'm actually focusing on the clean out programs, not only because I'm doing it currently, but also because springtime, it's normal for us to feel lethargic. It's normal for us to feel kind of tired, run down, weak, because this is the time when the seasons change. And us as humans, we're very much animal-like and we're still influenced by nature. Now, every time there's a seasonal change like springtime or autumn, most of us feel like a little bit of a slump. This is very natural, but this is also a sign that you need to slow down. And this is a sign that nature and your body is saying, do something, do make me feel better. So my advice would be to listen to your body and do that clean out. If you don't want to do my clean out, go and do another clean out that either you're used to, but add in the celery, add in the vacuums, at least that. And please, 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 good vitamins. That is so, so, so important. I cannot tell you how important that is. Now eventually I'm going to find information and I'll do a post about celery because, as I said, I'm investigating a lot more of these details for a family member of mine, the cancer situation. That's a huge clean out. I mean, if you think about cancer, the clean out you need to do to get better and to heal, and the chemotherapy and everything that's actually happening in that body, all the toxins that's in there, you need to actually clean your body out to a cellular level. That's huge. I mean, that is huge. So if it works for somebody that has cancer, imagine what it can do for your body. Insane. I don't think I'm ever going to stop with the celery in the mornings anymore. I'm just going to keep going. Alright guys, well, thank you for joining, thank you for watching, but most of all, thank yourself. Because anything on these lives that I do for your benefit. I do so that your health gets better. I'm trying to pump health into people. Literally, that's the objective that I have. If you need any of my services, we take that separate, okay? And if you need a boost or energy or feeling happy, feeling good, I have a special group for that. Anybody's welcome in that group. It's called Breath of Fresh Air. I'm sure if you put that into Facebook, you'll find it. And I wish you guys a wonderful Sunday and a very